So let's go ahead and get started. We are now in week 3, flying by, guys. And so tonight we're going to be stepping into, I would say, one of the more exciting parts of the journey, which is the Wealth Builder's Blueprint. We're going to be building this out. So our focus for tonight is going to be on income streams. It's not just having one, but we're going to be talking about how you're going to be building out 7 to 8 income streams that align with your gifts, your purpose, and the unique needs that you are called to serve in this season. So I wanted to open up with Ecclesiastes 11:2, which is a verse in the Bible where it talks about invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disasters may come upon the land. So this is a biblical principle that it talks about how the wise and the wealthy will diversify their income streams because you never know what season is going to fall upon the land, which could affect one or multiple income streams that you have. So you want to have the diversity there. And the Bible verse, Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 2. So this isn't just financial wisdom, this is actually kingdom strategy. God designed diversification to protect us, to provide stability, and to multiply our impact. So if one stream dries up, the river is able to keep flowing. And that's the principle behind that. So moving beyond employment into ownership and investment, right now, many of you may still be in the employee quadrant. That means that you're trading your time for money. There's security in that to an extent, but there is also a ceiling. So if you stop working, the income stops coming in, unfortunately. But God is calling many of us in this season to actually transition into greater levels of stewardship. So let's break that down. The first is small business ownership. You leave being an employee and start creating your own income stream. You may still be working daily, but you've shifted from building someone else's dream to building your own dream. Examples of this can be a coaching business, maybe an e-commerce shop, or even a local service business, whatever that may be or looks like. Two, this is big business ownership. So at this level, you're not necessarily running the day-to-day operations of the business. You have systems in place, you have managers or employees, and usually to be considered a big business, you have to have 500 or more people that are working within your business. In many cases, it's these people that are running the day-to-day operations. You may still be serving as like a CEO or a main head as far as decision making goes, but you're not necessarily there on site day to day, making sure that everything is operating or flowing properly and personally managing over people. Your role shifts from worker to more of a visionary and leader of the business. And then you're more responsible for creating jobs and opportunities for others. So some examples of this is like owning a franchise chain or maybe a large construction company or a tech startup, um, maybe even purchasing an already established business and taking it over and, you know, making changes and adjustments, but continuing with the overall running of that business. And then the third thing here is investor. This is the stage where your money works harder than you do, which is something I think all of us would like. Let's have our money work for us versus us having to work for money. That would be great. You invest in businesses, maybe real estate, stocks, cryptocurrency is a big thing I think all of us have in common right now that we're investing in, or other vehicles that multiply wealth and can also act as a wealth store asset. So instead of actively working, you're actually stewarding capital and you're taking calculated risks and you are reaping the returns of that. So the kingdom journey is about progression. Most of us being as employee, most of us being as employees, but God is raising us up in this generation and in this season for us to shift more into ownership and investment. I think this has been a big theme the Lord's been talking to me and Heather about. And it's been about creating wealth that doesn't just sustain you, but also builds legacy and multiplies into the community that you're called to serve. And then here in Deuteronomy 8, verses 18. I'll read this out and I'll put it in the chat as well. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. So, guys, if ever you are struggling with ideas, you're struggling with multiplication, you're struggling with finances, read this verse over yourself and declare this verse, and then go to your Father and ask Him, Lord, you told me to remind me that you give us, the ability to produce wealth. So I need you to tell me what to do here. Help instruct me. What is it is you that has the ability to produce wealth. So I need you to help guide me in the right direction, Lord, because I think I might have floated off track here. Me and Heather have done that a couple of times. It's like, Lord, what are we doing wrong? We've done all these things, and then he has to remind us of things that we forgot to do or that we haven't done yet.
I literally had that conversation with him a couple weeks ago about something that we were praying about. And I'm like, Lord, we've done da 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 da. And I'm listing everything that we've done. And I'm like, and we're walking by faith and, like frustrated and just telling him my 2 cents. And it's funny how you get like mad about things that are but you take it out on God. He's like, I'll just sit here and listen to you. And so anyhow, it was one of those moments. And he's like, but what have you not done? And I'm like, I literally just sat here and told you everything that we have done, a total attitude. And he's like, and so I'm going off about it. And he's like, I know, but what have you not done? And then, like, the second time he said it, I'm like, what have we not done? What have we not done? What have we not done? And then it like totally provoked that whole thought. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because Mimi, you reminded us of this today. We're human, right? So we tend to forget things sometimes. And that's why the Lord a lot of times has to repeat himself and he'll say things multiple times. And he does that because we are human and we do forget things. We're forgetful creatures. We get busy with the cares of this world, with, our day-to-day life. And and so he does need to remind us. And I think that's the beauty of having a father, right? That loves you is he will remind you. So he does that to us quite frequently because sometimes we do get off track and we forget about things. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into the wealth building blueprint, the instructions on this worksheet. How many of you guys have looked at this workbook yet? You can raise your hand, you can send up a flare. Got a couple? Okay. Anybody have questions? Like, how did you feel about looking at this? Was this a little bit overwhelming? Was it a little bit maybe intimidating? Was it scary for some of you? Like, what are your thoughts, guys?
The one that we just tried to do from this past week or the
No, it's
next?
the one for today. So week 3. It's called the
Oh,
Wealth.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a different workbook.
okay. I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay, that's okay. We're gonna get into it today. But for anyone that went ahead and looked at it ahead of time, I was just curious if there were any questions or anything. It's okay if there's not. We're gonna get into it today. So hopefully this was fun for me to put together because this is something that I would do in my day job, in my career that I recently left in June. I would have to build out one of these every year for my accounts that I managed. And it was called a 3-year roadmap, a 3-year growth roadmap, actually. And I would have to get into granular detail about how I was going to grow this account. And usually it was by a certain millions of dollars that I would have to be growing this account every year and how I was going to sell into this because sales is all about numbers, right? And you got to strategize how you're going to meet these numbers. So when I started thinking about the concept of entrepreneurship and income streams and everything, I was like, oh, I've done this before. Oh, I know how I can adapt what I used to do all the time for X, Y, and Z company. Well, let's do it for myself. So me and Heather, I built out this thing and I was like, this is what we're going to do. Let's start building out this. Let's start building out this income stream. Let's start building. And so we put it together. So in the workbook, I've shared with you guys like me and her personal, um, I guess, how we built our wealth roadmap and what we did. And it was really cool because just this last week, I went through to kind of review some things and to create, I put together a little instructional video. So I'm going to play the video so that you guys don't have to listen to me stumble through it and say every 5 seconds. Sorry. See, I'm trying to get better at this. When I pause, sometimes I say and I need to get better at the public speaking aspect of things. But I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes. So when I was reviewing back through everything, I actually got to see the timeline of things that we were planning out just a couple of months ago. And I got to put next to it launched, completed, launched, launched. And I'm just like, this is so cool. Like I'm seeing this all come together live. And so you're going to get to see that. And hopefully it'll be encouraging to you guys because what you guys are doing today is something that me and her started doing in May of this year. So it'll show you how the building process of this, what it's going to take you through, will hopefully create something that will help you build your own income streams out, but show you the process of how to do it and then how you can just continue to multiply that process as the years pass and as you guys move into new ventures. So
Can I add something?
please do, yeah.
So, all of us being believers, we have probably heard that there are times and seasons for everything. And right now is a times and seasons for development. It is almost like God has just released the ability for people to build things. And it's not that if you don't build in this season that you can't build it, but it's almost like supernatural grace is being delivered during this season for what he is wanting you to build. And so I would just think of that as you're going through this, like God led you here for a reason, and it's because he's prompting you for something a little bit different, something a little bit more. And yeah, I think that there is like a supernatural release during this time around building and growth and creativity.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and play this and we'll talk about it after. All right, everyone. Before we dive into the heart of this workbook, we're going to walk through the instructions tab together. This is your guide for how to use the Wealth Builders Blueprint workbook effectively and without accidentally breaking formulas or disrupting your data. So let's go through it step by step. One, please don't edit formatted or protected cells. You'll notice as you move around the workbook that some cells have formatting, coloring, or formulas already built into them. These cells are protected, which means you will not be able to click or change these cells, and that's intentional. These particular cells are connected to other tabs within this workbook. The good news is they're doing the math for you, pulling information from other tabs and making sure your totals and calculations stay accurate. So please don't edit or delete anything that is pre formatted, color coded, or has equations attached to it. Editing those cells can break the formulas, create inaccurate results, or cause inconsistencies across the entire workbook. Two, if you absolutely needed to remove the protection, or simply would like to remove the protection because you are familiar with Excel and how it works, you can do that. All you need to do is click on the Review tab. This is where you'll find located the Unprotect Sheet functionality. You'll be asked for a password, and that password is capital KEB 2025. But let's be very clear, I do strongly advise that you leave the protection on. If you remove formulas or make changes to the structural cells, the workbook will not function the same way it is designed, and it may break links, disrupt totals, or throw off future calculations in other tabs of the workbook. So please keep the protection on unless you fully understand Excel formulas and what you're adjusting. Number three, how to use this workbook. Now let's talk about how this workbook is designed to help you grow and organize your wealth with clarity and intention. This is your Wealth Builder's Blueprint Workbook. It's your personal command center for brainstorming your income streams, assessing your assets, and building the foundation for long term wealth. Inside the instructions tab, you'll see an overview explaining how everything throughout this workbook is connected. There is a glossary of terms. You'll find a glossary that breaks down key concepts you'll encounter throughout your wealth building journey. All of the terms like active income, passive income, portfolio, wealth store, kingdom wealth, and more. Each term is defined in simple language so that you always know exactly what we're referring to. We've also included symbols to give you an easy visual way to categorize income streams and assets. You'll see these icons used throughout the workbook in tables, charts, and exercises. These symbols help you quickly tag and identify whether something is active income, passive income, a wealth store, portfolio assets, drainers, shallow streams, false wealth, or a kingdom focused wealth vehicle. As you go through each exercise, you'll refer back to these symbols to label and classify everything clearly and consistently. So before we move forward, just remember protected cells, don't edit those. You can unprotect it if needed or if you choose, but I would recommend not to. Use your glossary and symbols as your guide. This workbook is designed to simplify, clarify, and visually organize your entire wealth plan. Before we move into the next tab, let's first review the glossary. The first glossary goes over income stream types. Active income. This is earnings that require your direct time, energy, and effort in exchange for money. This includes wages, salaries, services, or business activities where you must be present and actively working to generate income. When you stop working, the income stops as well, making it dependent on ongoing involvement and labor. In the examples column, I've listed out several things that qualify in this category if you have any questions about that. Next is passive income. This is income generated from assets or investments that continue to earn money with minimal ongoing effort. This could include royalties, residuals, or cash flow from systems you've built. You typically do the work once, such as creating a product, writing a book, or setting up an investment, and then receive payments multiple times or continuously, with little to no active involvement required. Next is a wealth store asset. These are assets that hold or preserve value but do not directly generate income. They can grow in equity or provide protection against inflation and market volatility. While these assets can be liquidated for cash value, the process is not immediate and can take up to 30 to 60 days to finalize, such as escrow on the sale of a home. Next are portfolio assets. These are holdings that preserve or store value rather than generate immediate income. They act as a financial foundation, offering stability, protection against inflation, and potential long term appreciation. While they may grow in value over time, they do not typically produce cash flow unless sold, borrowed against, or strategically repositioned. Portfolio assets are like your financial vault. They keep your wealth safe and protected. They may not pay you directly today, but they build security, hedge against risk, and provide resources you can later convert into cash flow or leverage for bigger opportunities. They can also be liquidated quickly for cash if needed. And these are things like precious metals, cryptocurrency, collectibles. These can be straight up cash or currency, like foreign currency savings. Next, we're going to talk about income quadrants. The first one on here is the drainers category. These are things that constantly take money, time, or energy without adding long term value. They feel like assets, but actually they drain resources. And I provided some examples of this in the examples column. So feel free to read through that and better understand what this category is really about. Next, shallow streams. These are income streams that bring in money but require constant work, have little scalability, and don't align with long term calling or purpose. The next one is false wealth. These are investments or possessions that appear valuable but are unstable, speculative, or disconnected from purpose. They may create the illusion of wealth but lack long term sustainability. And lastly, this is the category that you want to be building up as much as you can. This is the kingdom wealth quadrant. These are income streams and assets that generate ongoing value. They align with your gifts and callings and multiply both finances and impact. These produce sustainable wealth and leave a legacy. Lastly, we'll talk about income stream status. For each of these categories, there is a correlating symbol that goes with it. So let's start with the first one, current income stream. This is all of your actively generated income that's coming in. Next, we have an hourglass. This represents something that is either waiting to be launched or it's currently in process of being finished. Next, we have the rocket. This is something that's going to be launching in the next 1 to 2 months. An income stream that's actually in the rocket stage could be generating income because you can do something that's called a pre sale. So it's something where you sell a product or service before it actually officially launches. And actually, this is a marketing strategy that most businesses do. Next, we have the seedling stage. This is something where an income stream is currently being planned or it's in development, but it's not yet actually generating income. So it's considered in the growing stage. After that, we have a star, which represents idea stage or vision, but it's not yet being actively produced or created. After that, we have a what I like to call a circle arrows category. This just means that it's something that's in development or transitioning towards the launch phase. Next, we have a pin. So this is something where you may want to mark your income stream as being planned or upcoming as a focus project. Therefore, it's currently in a holding pattern. So it's not actively being worked on. Lastly, we have an explanation mark. This is where you have something that you're putting in pending or on a watch list. So you may have come across a really creative idea or possibly a future opportunity that you'd like to invest in, but now just isn't the right time for you. All of your ideas that you may have in this category, it's really good for you to get them down on paper so they don't get forgotten about or lost or overlooked. So, adding these to your list, but just marking them with an explanation mark is actually very important and valuable because there may be a point in the future where you're considering things to invest in or opportunities to move into, and you may want to revisit this list and this category of income possible income streams. Now let's move into the next tab of your workbook, the wealth flow framework. This is where we start identifying and organizing the income streams that God has placed in your hands, your heart, and your future. In this section, I'm going to walk you step by step through how to complete each part of this framework. And I'll also share real examples from Heather and myself so you can see how we applied this inside Kingdom Economic Builders. Step one, we're going to begin with the income stream brainstorm table. This is your creative zone. This is where you're allowed to dream without limitations. I want you to list every income stream that comes to mind, whether you're currently building it, planning to build it in the future, dreaming about it, maybe you're just curious about it, or something you've wanted to do since you were a child. No dream is too unrealistic here. No idea is too small. No vision is too big. Your only job in this step is to get everything out of your head and onto the page. If you're not sure what you want to build, that's okay. Some of you may look at this table and think, I don't even know where to start. I don't know what I want to create. That's completely fine. If you feel stuck, I encourage you to use ChatGPT to help you brainstorm ideas. Here's a simple, friendly prompt that you can copy and paste to generate income ideas based on your interests and skills. It's very simple. Write in ChatGPT, quote, give me a list of 20 income generating ideas that require little to no startup capital. Please include both online and offline options and consider my strengths, interests, and experiences. End quote. You can also add your hobbies, personality traits, or passions that make the ideas even more personalized. Now, to help you visualize how this can work in real life, I'm going to walk you through actual examples using Kingdom Economic Builders. When Heather and I completed this exercise, we wrote down every income pathway connected to our gifts, our calling, and the needs of our community. Seeing everything laid out gave us clarity on what God is building through us, and it'll do the same for you. So let's start at the beginning. Number one, Kingdom Economic Builders paid platform. This is a membership based platform. So our community does pay to be a part of the platform and the content that's available there. The income streams type is an active income. This stream requires our direct time, presence, and weekly effort right now. Over time, our hope is that this income stream can shift into a passive income stream category and require less of our direct time on an ongoing basis. Just be more of a maintenance for the platform. The quadrant placement is Kingdom Wealth. This platform creates an ongoing value, it aligns with our calling, and it multiplies both impact and revenue for us. It is sustainable, it's scalable, and it's also legacy building. For priority, this is a high priority for us. So we are focusing very heavily on building out this platform and the content that's available through it. And this is a current income stream of ours. Number two, the Seven Keys, Seven Doors framework series, the live master classes that we've done. This is an active income type. The live teachings are active income, but the e-courses created from these master classes will become passive content that'll be available inside our platform. And our hope there is that it's going to create additional value to our members and our community there. Quadrant placement is Kingdom Wealth, and this is also a high priority for us right now to get completed, as this is a current income stream generator. Number three, the Kingdom Economic Builders Group Mentorship Program. This type is an active income type. This does require extensive time, emotional energy, and hands on involvement for everyone that participates. That's why we've limited this program to only having no more than 12 members at a time can be a part of this program during the 8 weeks. In the future, parts of this may be reproduced into passive offerings, but for now, this program is only going to be packaged for active income. And because of that, this is why the quadrant placement is considered shallow stream. It generates income and aligns with our purpose. However, it requires constant work and has limited scalability because it does require our time and our effort and hands-on involvement. This is also a high priority item for us that we've been focusing on. In this current status, this is a current income stream of ours. Number four, one-on-one coaching, mentoring, and consulting calls. This is also considered active income because this is trading our time for money. So we don't have a way of making this passive income at the moment. Quadrant placement, I would also put this in the shallow income stream bucket just because, coaching is valuable, but it's not scalable without adding additional coaches, which is why the Kingdom Coaching Academy is an essential long term strategy for us. The priority here with this is a medium priority, and we're just taking on coaching as the interest is there. And this is a current income stream of ours. Number 5, digital e-courses and digital products. This type is passive income. This is the ultimate goal, right? We want to build the product, create the product once, and then sell repeatedly, generating income without ongoing time input. The quadrant placement for this is income is Kingdom Wealth. And this is also a high priority for us right now. The status, we have the hourglass in this because it is something that is still in progress. We are actively building this library as we go, and that does take time. Number 6, Kingdom Coaching Academy e-course. This is a passive income stream. This is our first solid passive income stream that we have developed and successfully launched. So excited about that. And it is available now through our Kingdom Economic Builders platform for purchase. The quadrant placement for this is Kingdom Wealth, and it is a high priority focus for us. And the status is current income stream. 7, this is the business startup and entrepreneurship e-courses that we are working on. This is a passive income stream type, and the quadrant placement for this is Kingdom Wealth as well. The priority here is medium. We may be shifting this more into the high focus in the new year, but for now it is in the medium priority category. And the status of this is the seedling land in development stages. This will become part of our long-term digital product ecosystem. So we really need to spend some time in building out what this is going to be looking like. And so we're excited to get that going. 8, life coaching mentorship program. This type is an active income type. This is really a stage 2 continuation for students that are graduating from the Kingdom Coaching Academy. This does require hands-on time and guidance, so it will remain as an active income type. The quadrant is Kingdom Wealth. This is a high priority for us. And this is, as far as status, it's got a rocket because it's launching soon. We hope to be launching this within the next 1 to 2 months. And then 9, retreats. This is for training, healing, coaching, and mentoring retreats that we plan to do at some point in the near to far future. And the type is an active income. Its quadrant is Kingdom Wealth. The priority right now is low just because it's not a main focus of ours at the moment. That may change in subsequent months. But the status here, we got a star next to it because it is really in the idea stage. So it's not yet producing anything. This is part of our long term vision, but it's not yet in an active development. This is cryptocurrency trading, and I'm excited for this one because this is very new. The type is portfolio assets. At the moment, this belongs in the portfolio category because the goal is to build wealth with this. If we begin actively day trading and drawing income from that day trading, that type may change or shift to an active income type. Quadrant placement is Kingdom Wealth, and the priority for this is high focus right now for this. And the status of this is current income stream because this is something we're actively currently engaging in. I also want to highlight the timeline for when these income streams came to life because many of them were launched within just the last few months. This will encourage you because building wealth is a process and momentum compounds. So for our first income stream, the Kingdom Economic Builders paid platform that just launched in May of 2025. The 7 Keys, 7 Doors framework series, the first masterclass was launched shortly after my publishing of my book, and that class was on July 8th, 2025. And we have now completed successfully 3 masterclasses so far. So that's really exciting. The Kingdom Economic Builders Group Mentorship Program first launched August 2025, and we are now into the second launch of that program as of November 2025. One-on-one coaching and mentorship calls. Heather has been doing life coaching for several years now, but jointly under Kingdom Economic Builders, we are now offering combined coaching calls with both me and Heather, and this launched in November of 2025. Next, the Kingdom Coaching Academy e-course actually just launched on October 15th, 2025, and the the life coaching mentorship program, which will be the stage 2 of that e-course. We have planned to launch that in December of 2025. So as long as we do have current enrollments in the e-course, so as soon as they complete that e-course, we're going to launch the mentorship program. And we have several people that are wanting to do and participate in that second stage already. And then lastly, the cryptocurrency trading. We just got our trading account approved as of November 17th, 2025. So officially, we began trading as a business, and this became an income stream of ours. Now that you've completed your income stream brainstorm, we're ready for the next step, organizing your ideas into the wealth flow quadrant. This is where clarity begins. The wealth flow quadrant helps you visually sort your income streams according to where they belong right now, not where you hope they'll be in the future. This step is essential because it reveals what's actually producing value, what's draining your time or energy, what needs to be built, and what needs to be reimagined or released. So let's walk through how to complete this step together. Step number 1, organize your income streams into their quadrants. You'll see 4 quadrants inside your workbook. Number 1, Kingdom Wealth. These are your highest value income streams, the ones that are scalable, sustainable, and aligned with your calling. So, examples of this include things like digital products, memberships, passive income, evergreen courses, assets that grow or appreciate, scalable programs, anything that multiplies both income and impact. Number 2, shallow streams. Do create income, but only when you're actively working. For examples, one on one coaching, service based work, manual labor, consulting, any income stream where you trade your time for money, essentially. And if you're self employed and paying yourself a salary, that also goes here. So these income streams are not bad. They simply lack scale and sustainability long term. Number 3 are these are the drainers. So these take more than they give. They drain your time, energy, money, or emotional bandwidth. For examples, this could be your 9 to 5 job where you're trading your time for someone else's business, a side hustle that's draining you, work that is out of alignment with your calling, income streams that create burnout, low return opportunities that require heavy labor. So, if you are an employee for someone else's business, your job goes in this quadrant because the time that you invest in this business is somebody else's dream, not yours. And then 4, false wealth. These look like wealth, but are not truly sustainable. So, examples can be quick money scams, high risk opportunities that lack strategy. They could be like lottery ticket style ventures, unstable side hustles, or income streams that promise big but rarely deliver, anything that's not aligned with your long term kingdom purpose. False wealth gives the illusion of financial gain without true stewardship or sustainability. So, in step 2, this is where we're going to list up to 10 income streams in each quadrant. Inside each quadrant, I want you to take the items from your brainstorming list and sort them into their appropriate category. You can list up to 10 streams per quadrant, but it's perfectly okay if you don't have all 10. Some of you may have 2 or 3 in a quadrant. That's normal. The most important thing is that you place the streams in the quadrant where they belong right now. Special note, employment and salary placement. Let me clarify 2 key points because this is where people often get confused. If you work a regular 9 to 5 job, this goes in the drainers quadrant. Why? Because you're trading your time and energy to build somebody else's business or vision. If you work for yourself and pay yourself a salary, this belongs in the shallow streams quadrant. Why? Because even though you're self employed, your income still depends on your direct time and labor. Moving on, step number 3, it's time for you to prioritize each income stream, number 1 through 10 for each of these quadrants. Now that your streams are placed in the correct quadrant, I want you to rank them in order of priority, meaning number one is going to be your highest priority for the quadrant, and number 10 would be considered your lowest priority income stream. Your rank should reflect current income, high value opportunities, alignment with your calling. Streams already producing cash flow should be listed near the top, and streams you want to build in the next 18 months certainly be listed somewhere, within the top 5. This ranking will help you to identify where your time, focus, and energy should go. Next section, top 10 income stream summary table. So once your quadrants are completed, I want you to scroll to the right in the workbook. You'll see the top 10 income stream summary table, and this is where everything comes together. So step number 4, in this table, you're going to choose the top 10 income streams you want to focus on over the next 18 months. These should be the income streams you want to develop, start up, build, optimize, grow, or launch. Your actively earning income streams should be near the top of this list. Anything already producing revenue should naturally outrank things still in the idea stage. Once your current income streams are listed, begin adding high priority streams from your quadrants. The purpose of the summary table, the goal here is to create a clear, focused roadmap of what you're building next. Not all items deserve your time right now. Not all streams fit your season, and not all streams will move you toward kingdom wealth. This summary table becomes your blueprint for the next year and a half. So take your time with this step, be prayerful, be honest, and be strategic. When you finish this section, you'll have clarity not only about where your money flows, but about where your time, energy, and calling should flow as well.
Jacqueline, you're muted.
I am so sorry. I forgot I was muted. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there because we're going to break out into some activities and we're going to build out our income stream brainstorm a little bit together tonight and break out into some breakout rooms and see what we can get on paper tonight as an example. Hopefully, activate some people tonight and have fun with it. Before we do that, I know that was a lot. Hopefully, I didn't lose too many of you guys in that process. I talked about a lot of stuff, but and already as I'm listening to this, I'm editing it in my head. It's like, oh, I need to change that. Oh, I need to adjust this. So my perfectionism was kicking in a little bit. But let's open it up to question, guys. Do we have any questions? Is there anything that you want to ask or have clarified or talk about?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So, if I understand this right, I'm just asking for clarification, but we're in the Wealth Flow Framework tab.
That is correct.
We will start building out the income stream brainstorm as part of this activity.
Yes.
Underneath, there's a wealth flow framework, like a grid of 4. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
automatically populate, but it's a repeat of what you did upstairs, but you're putting it in order now of priority.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So essentially, the brainstorming section, this is where I'm hoping you guys just will data dump. Data dump any and every idea that you've ever thought of making money off of or that you'd like to be involved in. Whether this is something that you'd want to try to do within the next 1 to 6 months, 1 to 2 years. Maybe this is a 10-year out dream of your guys's, something you'd like to do way in the future. Who knows? Whatever it is, get it on paper.
Okay.
Put it down in this table. And don't limit yourselves, Um,
It's
whatever.
like basically throwing it all out there and not overthinking it.
Yes.
Yes.
Out there and don't criticize
It's
yourself.
like a brainstorm. Like when people sit down to create before they actually start developing something, they just bring everything that you can think of, you lay it out there.
Yes.
And
Yes.
question.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to see what's the difference between star stage and exclamation mark. I mean, I can see it you're saying it's idea stage is star stage and exclamation part mark is pending watch list. Can you give an illustrative example of the two?
Yes. So
So
the
the
st
star, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say the idea stage, vision stage, star stage. So think of it like me and Heather have talked about big picture stuff. We'd love to do retreats. This is a big passion for her. She's had dreams about doing retreats or being part of retreats for years. This is
Mhm.
something we would love to do. We'd love to have retreats be a part of some of the programs we're developing right now. Right now, it's just an idea in our head. We haven't put anything to paper. We haven't strategized or done any research on what the cost of that would be, or even how we would formulate an offer or how we would do that. But we know eventually we would love to offer retreats for some of the things that we're doing, like maybe have a retreat for all of our coaches. So we can get together and do some training and just reward our coaches for all the hard work they're doing. Maybe do a retreat for healing, maybe people that really want to get into some hands-on in-person healing. Let's
Hmm.
do a retreat for that. These are just ideas that we have. We have a vision for it, but we haven't really dedicated time to developing it out or making it a reality yet. When that idea does move forward into the planning stage, that's when we would move it forward into the seedling. We're actually planning how we're going to make this a reality. We're looking at outlines. What kind of content are we going to want to do in this retreat? What destination do we want to go to? What's the cost of that destination? What does that even look like? Do we want it to be a 3 day or just over the weekend? Do we want it to be a 5 day, Monday through Friday, like a week-long thing? Do we, well, that's when it would move forward.
Okay, and then the exclamation mark?
This is like a watch list. Say, say you saw something in the news where they were talking about something with AI is going to be the next, big boom in a certain area of technology. You'd love to invest in this thing, whatever you saw, but now just isn't the time. But you want to keep it on your radar because you know this is going to be something big. But right now, you just don't have the funds or the energy or the time to really put towards it, if that makes sense.
I would
Yep.
do like acquisitions. Like I really want to get into acquisitions. I don't necessarily know exactly what arena that I want to go into, but it's a watch list. Like if something came across my path within the next year or whatever that seemed like a good idea, I would know like, okay, I want to pursue this, but I don't necessarily have a timeline on it. I just know it's something I'm interested in.
So then,
Yeah.
if it's, and I love that category, but if it's that, how do you know if it's a shallow stream or a kingdom wealth?
Well, you're not going to know. Well, if it's something just on your watch list, this isn't something that you're actively really putting time or energy in.
I,
You know
s-
what I mean?
I see. So quadrant placement is only if it's a current stream.
Well, not necessarily. Um, if it depends on what this watch list thing is.
Okay.
You might have to give me some examples for me to better help you figure out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll
because if
ponder.
if you're just wanting to acquire a business, but you're not going to be involved in the day-to-day running of that business, meaning you're going to own the business, you'll have ultimate decisions over how the business will run, but you literally have other people that are managing it for you and doing the day-to-day management of it. So you have minimal, I guess, time, energy that goes into the functioning of that business. That would be considered a passive stream. That
I
business will continue to operate and generate income regardless of you being involved or you showing up to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
I see. And so as you build it out, if you see that you're heavy weighted in shallow streams and
Yeah,
like you are stretched too thin, that's
you are. Yeah.
I see what you're doing. Okay. Thank you.
Especially for time, for things that are linked to time, because we
Yes.
only have so much time. We cannot create more time. And I think for the longest time, people were taught time is money, but it's not, right? It's really not. Time limits your money. And
Yeah.
so it's just getting people out of the idea of trading time for money and thinking beyond that and making money work for them. So, yes, you probably have a couple shallow streams to where it will require your time or that trade-off. But the idea is to stretch you to think of, okay, this is where I normally would think. I would normally think, okay, let's start up a boutique and I can sell purses or whatever you want to sell, but that limits you. And so this is just stretching you beyond that to think like, what else can I generate to where if this goes array, which my thought process was around COVID.
Yep.
COVID did this to me. COVID made me realize that you do not want to put all of your eggs in one basket because you are one pandemic away from being homeless, right? Essentially. And that is kind of how God started really speaking to me about this was like your whole being is in their hands because you have nothing else to fall back on. So you need to diversify your income and you need money to be generating money. Like that's how he intended it. Money is just a vehicle, it's just an object, it's just a tool. And if we steward it well, it will multiply itself.
Yeah, I like it. And I see that also that you're hedging your bets so that if
Yeah,
industry takes a hit, you have the others that might be in a different field.
Yeah.
That makes
exactly.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. And it's kind of like you can move things that are in certain categories over into other categories. Like there may be something that starts in a shallow stream, but with a few tweaks to it, you could actually adjust it and move it into the kingdom wealth category.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can see that. I can,
So it's just it's conceptual so that it can help you think about that. Think strategically,
yeah.
right? Because there are going to be things that are they may start as drainers. They may
Mm,
start as like, gosh, this is taking a lot of my time, energy, and effort putting into this. But once you complete that labor of love, that book that you're writing or whatever it is that you're doing, you've just created a passive income stream and it's done.
Mhm.
You've already done the work and you get to move it over into that kingdom wealth category where it'll continue to sell and grow. And all you have to do is maybe market it and, do a couple other things to get the brand recognition out there. But so it's just kind of showing you where you'll be shifting kind of throughout this quadrant, this grid, so to speak. And then other things, I mean, you may have some things that fall in the false wealth category. Um, and I know this sounds weird. It's a weird concept, but it's just the only thing I could think to come up with as a title for this quadrant. It may be things like a vacation home or a luxury home that, you only spend so much time out of the year there. But you could use it for different things. You could rent it out when you're not using it. You could maybe do special occasions or events or retreats out of that home. And then all of a sudden, that home that's sitting there that's really costing you money, you're not really making money off of this investment other than it being a store of value. All of a sudden, now this investment is bringing income into you when you're not using it or when you don't need it. So just it's ideas like that. I know in the last master class we did, we talked about yachts. Somebody had an idea about wanting to own a yacht in the future, and they created an entire income stream around this yacht and
Mhm.
using it to do special retreats with, right?
Mhm.
And generating an income stream out of that. Some people might think that owning a yacht is a waste of money because, that's a very luxurious item, right? To just buy a yacht and you're not going to use it all the time. It's just going to sit there in the boating dock area for port, most of the year. Well, while that yacht is not being used by you personally, what could you do with it? You could lease it out and be earning income from it, or maybe doing an entire income stream or business using that yacht. So, um,
And a lot of like, if you pay attention to what a lot of wealthy people do for tax strategies, is they layer their businesses. They start businesses upon businesses upon businesses, and they do it for well, you can Mimi doesn't operate in taxes, but she has a fair understanding, but they do it for that particular reason. Um, I bought Tom Wheelwright's book, what is it, Tax-Free Wealth or something
Hmm.
like that. And he talks a lot about layering businesses. And so you could have your primary business and it's producing an income and maybe you start crossing over to a certain threshold and you're like, man, I don't want to cross over there. And so he's like, you can create an accounting company that does all of your administrative work for your other business and you start, you charge that business as an expense. And then you have a whole nother business avenue to kind of integrate expenses into it. And so as you start increasing your wealth, a lot of it has to do with layering businesses to reduce your taxable income.
Yes. So this entire tab, the wealth flow framework, you got to think of it like a funnel, right? The funnel is really big at the top, and then we're going to shrink it down as we get farther and farther down the funnel. So essentially what's happening is you're going to start with your brainstorming section. You're throwing everything in there, as many ideas as you can think of that you think you may be interested in at some point in the future. And this, I would even include things that you'd like to charity-wise be involved in, right? Why not? I mean, um, maybe starting a nonprofit is something that you want to have as part of your future, wealth stewardship. But put it in here, write it down. You don't have to do them in any kind of order. This is just simply getting it out on paper. Um, and for today's purposes too, just getting the income name down, I think is good enough. You can go back at a later date and figure out what type of income stream is it, what quadrant would it really go into, and then decide on, what priority would you want to give it and all that. Um, but down here, when we get to the quadrant section, this is where you're going to pull together what are the most important ones as far as priority. So, and I've only listed, you can only put 10 in each of these sections, but really it probably would have been just fine in listing five, like no more than five in each of these sections um, that you would want to have here as far as income streams that are considered important. And
Yeah, something that you can start now, something that you want to focus on, put your energy towards.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Did someone have a question?
What was the name of the book again, Heather?
I think it's Tax-Free Living by Tom Wheelwright
It's tax-free wealth.
or Tax-Free Wealth. Yeah, not Tax-Free Living, obviously, by Tom Wheelwright.
Thank you.
And then the bottom part of the funnel, this is the last step that you'll do in this tab specifically, is summarizing the income into a table. So this is kind of a snapshot of your Ecclesiastes 11, right? What are your 7 to 8 income streams that ideally you would like to have built out at some point so that you could be protected in a sense against whatever calamity may befall the land in the next 5 years. So if there's another, say, pandemic that hits in the next 5 years, would you be protected against that pandemic? So think of it like that too. It's like if the entire world was to shut down and literally people aren't going to work, they're not going outside of their homes, they're not, you know what I mean? Like we were literally unable to move and businesses literally went out of business
And you
during that
guys,
time.
I think there's another pandemic coming around 2020. I don't know exactly when, but if we had to guess, I would say 2028. But I know that that is something that God has really talked to me about that they are trying to push again, um, for control, right? For whatever reason. But some of you guys can believe that it was intentional and some can't, but I I believe it was intentional, you know? And we have another election year coming up, and it's going to be a vital election year. So if I had to guess when they might try to do it, I would say about then. And so we need to be sustainable. We are Joseph, right? Like we're counting our grain right now. We're brainstorming. Like Joseph had to think of the ideas, like, okay, and it's kind of like, him with God. Like, what are some ideas? How can we produce wealth to prepare for this famine that's coming? And so that's kind of what God is doing with us, right? Like, yes, there's a wealth transfer coming. Yes, he wants to give us a lot of wealth, but he also wants us to have the skill set to keep producing wealth. So that way we don't receive it and then lose it or receive it and give it away. Our last group, we had so many generous people that were like, "Oh, I just want to give it all away." And it's like that's a great thing, but at the same time, like God is entrusting you with it for a reason, and it's because he wants you to make impact. And he wants you to make continuous impact, not just impact once.
He wants you to dig your wells, and he wants you to dig your well deep so that you constantly have access to that water. So the water can continue to flow even when there's drought and there isn't water in the land for maybe months or years at a time, so that
Mhm.
you can be a blessing to others. So that's what we're kind of brainstorming here today with this. And what's going to come out of it is you're going to write your top 10 income streams, which are going to be carried over into what's called an 18-month growth roadmap, where you're going to be literally mapping out how you're going to grow these income streams over the next 18 months. So in this example, because some of you do still work a day job, right? You're still in your career, whatever that career may be. I've included that here at the top. I mean, this is for some of you, your primary source of income. So definitely include that in this top 10 income stream, because until you transition out of that income stream, it is important to include that here, and it has to be a part of your roadmap. And then list them out according to priority. Like, what is your second top priority focus for income stream that you can start working on today, and then kind of work your way down from there. And this is probably going to take you time to get to the full 7 or 8 income streams, right? But it just starting the process, I think, is important, and that's what we're going to do today. So we'll break out into breakout rooms and kind of spend 20 minutes or so just brainstorming. And you can ask your group for um, you can talk if you want, or just be quiet and allowing yourself to think and really reminisce. But if you have questions, feel free to work together on it. And then
I want to
um,
speak to this comment.
yeah,
Dasha said she's ready to retire. Dasha, that means, right? That means you have to come up with passive income ideas. Start creating passive income ideas. If you do not want to be tied to creating and tied to needing to constantly produce, then maybe you were meant to be uh, the, what is it called? The investor in that quadrant in the passive income. So you create it once and then it keeps producing for you. So if you guys
yeah,
do not like being tied to work, if you don't like being tied to producing, if you don't like being tied to uh that constant need of money or increase of money, desire to, then come up with passive income ideas and get workers to do it for you. So
yes.
maybe Dasha, that just showed a piece of your personality that God's like, I have a much bigger picture for you. Maybe He wants you to create this marketing agency, and then you can have people going out and selling your marketing, right? And you could have people creating content for you. You start the business, you grow it, and then you hire people in to do the work for you. Um,
You, you guys have no idea how valuable knowledge and systems and frameworks are. If you can build out a framework that someone could follow, people will buy that from you. And they'll,
here,
yeah. And that could be a passive income stream. You're literally selling them instructions on how to do something.
yeah. Karen, she says coming up with ideas is not easy. There are certain people that are very gifted with ideas. And then there are other people that are more doers. And that's how Jacqueline and I complement one another. I
Yeah.
can come up with ideas all day long, every single day. The problem is there's not enough time in the day. And also I get lost in creating them, right? And that's why I have a Jacqueline. And Jacqueline doesn't like working all the time. She does like working all the time. I have to tell her to take breaks. However, she can't produce like I can come up with ideas. So, as we get into this on your one-on-one coaching sessions, if you need ideas that match with your personality, if you're not good at coming up with those, you let us know and I will help you come up with something.
Yeah.
It
And
might
I,
not be, it might just spark the idea. It might not be exactly what you need to do, but I can give you some ideas. Sorry,
yeah.
Jacqueline.
And this is, I encourage you guys to use ChatGPT because it can help you in so many ways. The little prompt that I spoke of in the instructions, I can share that with you guys afterwards. But if you put that prompt in ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT about yourself. Tell them, I have this many years of experience doing this, this, and this, and this. I really enjoy doing this, this, and this. I would like to do this, this, and this. I mean, literally data dump into Chat
Hmm.
GPT and say, I'm looking for ways that I can create something like a digital product or create something that I can sell. I do the work once and I'm able to sell it multiple times to create passive income for myself. Can you give me some ideas of what to do? It'll do it. And
Yes,
you
it
might be
will.
amazed at what it'll come up with. And it might, and then you're like, well, I don't know how to do that. Ask ChatGPT. Okay, well, how would I go about creating this? I mean, honestly, it's incredible what this technology can do, and we have it at our fingertips right now, guys.
Yes.
Do you know there are millionaires that are going to be made from people that are just willing and able to use AI?
And AI is kind of like right now, I feel like AI is how many people felt about cryptocurrency when it was first released. Like, okay,
Yeah.
that's ushering the mark of the beast. I'm not supporting that. That's evil, da 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 da. And God's like, yeah, knock it off. Maybe it will when that time is, but right now I'm telling you that there is a way to multiply. So jump on the bandwagon. And that's the same thing with AI. Like, will AI be used for that? Maybe, but people have been on the rapture rug for a long time, and we don't know when that time's going to come. We can use it for good things also, right? Like God gives us these things. He ideas come from heaven. This is one thing that he told me a long time ago. The ideas come from heaven because the enemy can't produce. God produces. The ideas come from heaven and people pervert the ideas. So as long as you're not perverting the idea and as long as you're not supporting the perversion of an idea, then you might as well use the tools that you have. It's the same thing with money. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil, right? And it's the same thing with the tools that he gives us at our fingertips to make our lives easier.
Yeah. It's like indoor plumbing,
Yeah, running water.
just running water.
Yeah,
Just install the indoor plumbing,
yeah.
guys. Help
Water
yourself
running
out.
through those pipes is it's going to kill you. No, actually, I don't think I could go down to the well and carry water up the hill.
Every day. All right, so let me work on getting some breakout rooms.
And
Does
have
anyone?
fun with this, guys. Have fun. Lay down ideas, help one another build out ideas. So, sorry, Jacqueline.
No, please go ahead. I'm talk while I'm manually putting
I
these
will
things
tell you
together.
something though, and this is something that we share in all of our groups. Sometimes God gives you an idea that is not meant to be shared with other people until it is time to share it with other people. So I would be mindful of some of the ideas that you share, not for any one reason or another, but maybe God hasn't released you to share it yet. So there's also that.
Yeah, if some of you guys have been given ideas for inventions by the Lord, those are unique information and ideas for you. So I would encourage you keep that to yourself and what you want to say about it. Um, because I do think some of you are um, well, maybe not on this call, but the Lord has said He has inventions to give to people.
Uh,
So,
yes, he does. He did say that. So James will not be able to join the breakout at this time, Jacqueline.
oh, okay,
Um,
no
we
worries.
had one with 3 people. I wonder if we can.
Yeah, I'm gonna move. Let me see
In the last group we had, guys, they had so many ideas. And I don't, it was just, it was amazing to watch them
Yeah,
remember the ideas. Like, oh, God told me about this and he was showing me this. And it just gave them a lot of clarity as far as what God was leading them to.
yeah. And when we come back, if any of you do want to share any of your thoughts or ideas on it or whatever, you're free to do that as well. So, um, all right, so I'm gonna open up the rooms. Okay, awesome. Looks like we got everybody back in. Good stuff. Sounded like we had some good discussions going on in the breakout rooms, so that's great. I guess we'll open up the floor. Would anyone like to share anything? I know one of the rooms I was in, with Tanya, Mimi, and Dasha, you guys had a great conversation about something that would be good to share with the open group. So if you guys wanted to go ahead, here's the floor. Oh, you're on mute.
We were just getting to the fun part with Mimi where she said a boba tea shop with pinball machines. Okay.
Woo!
I love boba tea, by the way. I used to not, but it's grown on me. It's like the younger generation.
That's
The drinks
awesome.
taste like wildflowers, don't they? Does anyone think that? Like you're drinking flowers?
No.
I don't
What?
think that, but like,
What?
I can't do the balls.
You can. You can. It will
I
grow on you. Just get 3 teenage boys and it will grow on you.
have a teenage girl and I am like, nope.
Yeah, it's harder for the different generation.
My daughter loves the boba teas.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever actually tried it, but it does not look appealing to me,
Oh, it
to be
makes me
Mimi,
honest.
gag. Like as soon as it tries to go down, it's like,
Well, because my daughter, she would tell me her jaw would get sore from having to chew the boba. And I'm just like, why are you chewing on rubber balls? Like, this is not
those
appealing.
must be stale ones then, because like
Oh,
a fresh tapioca boba is amazing. They have mango,
You
they
need
have
the bursting
coconut.
ones.
Yes, the bursting ones. Mimi, we're gonna have to open up a boba shop to help the older generation
a
become
boba
accustomed
shop
to it.
without
okay.
balls.
Yeah.
Without-
Yeah, I like tea. I'm good with tea.
Okay. Oh, you guys are so funny. That was hilarious. Okay. You guys, you guys got to hear Tanya's businesses. I'm telling you.
Oh my
Yes. Come on,
gosh,
Tanya, share
really?
it with us. Let's
Okay,
do it.
I just had a lot of random, these are
Those are
just,
the best.
oh, okay. All right. So some of my dreaming big, I didn't even get to all of them. But anyway, so let's see. Okay, so I started off and I was saying I always thought something like a miles of golf where people could just go to a golfing range and to run something like that would be fairly easy because you're just buying all these ranges. People go there to drink and just shoot. It's not like golf, not like a golf course, but just like shooting for fun. And
Yeah.
we have one near our here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's always busy because you can pretty much do it year round. Even in the winter, they have an area that's enclosed. So people are always shooting off golf balls. I don't golf, but it's just like kind of a fun thing to own, I think, if you made a nice restaurant area in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was telling them I also would like to own an airport one day because I've always
Ooh.
wanted to learn how to fly. So that would be fun to have like a little pilot school. If I live somewhere cold, I could start like an ice skating rink with nice hot chocolate and different areas, for people to stay warm and be active in the cold.
We're getting nostalgic now.
Yes, I'm super sentimental like that. I
Oh,
would like to own kind of like a olive orchard, probably somewhere near Jordan, where I could make and sell my own olive oil and then do like spices. They have like sumac, some really good spices that you could grow over there and then with good bread, just market that, but not market it just it would be from over there, but market it here in the US because
hmm.
that's what people they want. They want that cultural food. Um, and then Mimi and I were just talking about like in Hawaii, that's what they have so many exotic foods there from all different parts of the world. Like people come from Portugal or um, you know, anywhere around Hawaii, and the food is so good. And sometimes you get stuck in certain parts in the US and it's the same old food. So it's always something like that to kind of bring that food to different parts of the US would be neat. Fast money cash flows would be things like laundromats. We were talking about that. Rent out land to different farmers just so they can farm food or have land with wells so that there's water for people when things get harder.
Yeah.
Of course, storage units is always a big one, or having owning a commercial cleaning business. Not that you would do it, but hire a lot of third parties to do
Hmm.
that, or a portable toilet rental. That's supposed to be a big money maker.
Yeah.
Have you
Like
seen
That's
the
that.
really
creative.
pretty ones? Like the pretty ones that they
Oh
do
yeah, I have seen
for
that.
like weddings and stuff. So it's not like these ugly porta potties. Like they're really pretty and they're on a trailer.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, I've seen
it's
them for weddings.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so anyways, those are just some of mine. I want to take up all the
You
time,
have
but
passive
yeah.
one. The flare passive. I'd never heard of that.
Oh,
Passive
oh,
activity that you're earning.
yeah. Oh, good way to make the just to be an investor and to make passive income would be to buy Flare tokens for Flare Network, which is just a large network. It's they've signed contracts with XRP and different cryptocurrencies, but it's supposed to be the most. You can follow them on X, of course. You can follow Flare on X, and if you own at least 60,000 Flare, then you can wrap them and then delegate them to specific. You can choose from different companies and I was explaining like eventually if you buy an eventually all the flare will be gone and bought. But if you can get in now and buy it before cryptocurrency explodes, you'll always be able to be the bank and you'll be able to um you will be the bank. Like in the like eventually and probably sooner than we think, like most homes will be bought with cryptocurrency. They won't,
Hmm.
like the middleman, such as the title company, that will be gone. You won't have 30-year mortgages or 50. You'll have lower interest, right? Like 5 to 7 years of interest with cryptocurrency. Because if you owned like XRP, which becomes more valuable, or Bitcoin, then all of a sudden you are your own bank and people will sell you a house because they know that your Bitcoin's only going to be worth more every day, or your XRP is only going to be worth more. So, anyways, if you become the bank and you buy as many Flare as possible, then one day you can just own more and more XRP, and then the bots will like trade that money for you. They sort of like trade the money every day on the system and you're basically the bank. So it's a good way in the future if you wanted to make thousands of dollars every month by not doing anything but just wrapping and delegating those coins out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the belief bag, that's the lady on YouTube that talks about it, and she's a really excellent teacher. Um,
Yeah. I
I've
like
only
her.
watched like two of her videos, but I learned enough from those two where I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to do that. I just felt it in my heart, like that's a smart way to do it.
Confirmation.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the confirmation. I was like, that can just be money on the side, so I can go do some other things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You got a great list there, Tanya. Congratulations. Good job.
Mhm.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody else want to share? what they came up with or something they're excited about? It
I
doesn't have to be
can,
a
I
long
guess.
list, but
I
go
was going to
ahead.
say, Dasha, what happened to your Google
No,
Kingdom
so
campus?
yeah. Okay, so I was telling them, so like some of my more practical ones, like um kind of like doing social media stuff, right? So like I was telling them how right now I'm kind of bartering with my chiropractor, like I'm running his social media site and he's like letting me run. So I'm running his social media site and he's treating me. So I don't have to like pay him.
Smart.
So that's like one thing because I don't know, I've always had like that creative eye and like I like making things pretty and I work in GIS, so like I do a lot of maps and so like
Hmm.
I've always had like that creative aspect, so I've always liked that. So turning that maybe into more like marketing, like a marketing business. I think I've kind of talked to you guys a little bit about that, but so that's one. And then I also had like e-courses and life coaching stuff. I've always liked one-on-one mentorship kind of things. So turning that more into like a business rather than just like mentoring. I had full-time ministry. I don't really know what that would look like, but I know that a lot of people make money from their ministry, so that would be cool.
Well, your
Um,
business can be your ministry. You know what I mean? Like, I think
right.
that's sometimes our misconception is we think ministry is just doing everything for free, but ministry is really your calling and your purpose.
Right. Yeah, and then I had so like crypto trading and crypto staking. So like staking would be more of like that passive income. Trading would be it would take some education on my part because I don't really like day trade or anything like that. I've always been like a holder or a hodler, whichever you prefer. Um, but and then some of the other things that I wrote down was like, you could write books, income from books, or one of the things I wrote down was photography. Um, but like the my big like dream one that I've had this idea about that I was telling them about is so I went to this school that was like basically this guy, what he did was he bought like this manor that had like 15 bedrooms in it, right? And he runs a school like so he teaches like identity in Christ and stuff out of his home. And so like a bunch of people will come and basically live in his house for a week because he's got all these extra bedrooms and all these beds. He's like turned it into like a school. And he has like a dining room table that holds like 22 people, and like we would all meet downstairs in the morning and we just like study the word together, and it was just really cool. So what I kind of had an idea from that is like having this campus or this building where like you set it up for housing, you set it up for like hosting events, that kind of thing, but then on the campus you have like you have a gym that you have, and then you have like basketball courts, tennis courts, like set it up like a resort that people would go to, and like you could have like a playground or have like a lazy river like and a pool, just stuff like that. So then you could have like your event, or you could host people so like they could stay on the campus, whether it's set up like a hotel or whatever, they'd have all these things to do. You could have meeting room spaces and whatever, and then like you could host either events, or you could host schools in person or like that kind of thing. So it'd just be like a campus, and then so like when you have the events, you have a place to do it, but then when you're not using it, you could just rent it out to like other businesses or whatever, or set it up like, like a water park where people come and just pay for the day to hang out there and then they leave or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like
I
you
don't
could
know.
even do it where like, youth groups are taking the kids on and so then you're going to lease it out to a church for a day or businesses that do employee days and they take them somewhere special. Um, and even like Jacqueline and I, like so I've looked into retreats a lot and like how to set up retreats and like and so I've looked for places within the United States to like lease out and there are places that are exclusively for like that's they only do certain types of events. But that yeah, that's a great idea. But there's not a lot of them. I mean, there is a lot, but there isn't a lot, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. But it's just cool because it's like you're setting it up to be like multifunctional in the sense of like, okay, it's a place where a whole family could bring their kids and, like you could even set up like a daycare or something on the premises so then like the parents could go and do like, their classes and then meet up with the family and then have like fun time later or something, like
Yeah.
just all kinds of possibilities. But yeah, that's like
Brilliant.
my big,
Like a retreat center,
yeah,
family friendly retreat center.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
That is
that
cool.
is really cool.
Love it.
Yeah.
Mimi, Mimi, where are you?
She's hiding.
Protocols.
I'm here. I'm feeding my cat.
Oh,
An automatic cat feeder. I'm gonna create it.
Where your cat just goes and presses a button. Wait, you might have like a 50-pound cat then if it knows it can get food anytime it wants.
that would be a
That
cute logo for your boba shop, is like a really cute kitten drinking a boba. Yeah.
Oh,
Like Hello Kitty, but way cuter.
So the pinball boba is my husband is into pinballs,
Mm.
pinball, and I said, how can we write off? Because they're like 9 to 12 to $15,000. I don't know if you
wow.
forward. So I was like, okay, well, we have to write that off. So how are we going to do that? and,
Mhm.
and
Business.
my daughter is like, she's only 14, but she's really good with money and entrepreneurial stuff. And I said, okay. And she wants to do a boba. And we live near a university in a very small town in Georgia.
Yeah.
And the kids are from all over. Even though this is the country, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
The kids and college kids need something to do that doesn't involve alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to work all night, right? And the kids all can learn a business and they're fascinated with boba. They just love it and they're making it. They're like the only Asian kids in school and they're making it and all the kids are like, "What is that? I love that." And I'm like, "Sophia, could you sell that?" And she's like, "Mom, easy, easy."
Uh-huh.
Um
Oh.
and so anyways, that's our when my husband comes up with ideas, I already know it's going to be great. And as crazy as it sounds, I've learned not to discount him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's going to be a family business, a training ground to build up young entrepreneurs. They can work in it. The kids from school can work it. And I'm not seeing it as a big profit maker, but I know that it's an investment in training. And I
Yeah.
get to write off the pinball machines.
Nice.
That's
With the big,
awesome.
beautiful bill. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
Mm.
That's all
You,
I got.
if you get a space that has like a back area, you could rent it out for birthday parties and stuff. Put a little karaoke machine back there for entertainment and
Yeah,
golden.
Hmm.
yeah, we could do a lot. So that's really all I got.
No, I
That's
think it's
good.
perfect. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Great job.
Well, I thought so we're on the West Coast and we have coffee stands. Like where I live, coffee stands are literally every corner. And boba stands are becoming like coffee stands. And like Starbucks, like, yeah, we have Starbucks here, but a lot of people are like, no, I don't want Starbucks. I want your local owned coffee stands. But then you go to the East Coast. When I traveled there, the first time I went, I was like, where are the coffee stands? I did not realize that you guys did not have coffee stands.
Yeah, what is a what do you mean? Like somebody standing on the street corner selling coffee out of a
No, they're
stand or
like
what?
little buildings or even like a trailer converted into like a portable shop, or it is like an actual shop put on a little chunk of somebody's property. And you pull up, you order your coffee, and you drive off. And it's a constant flow of people. And you sell them for $7.
Wow. Where are you from?
Yeah, I've
Washington State.
never
You guys
seen that.
literally, oh,
No,
when
we don't
I
have those in Michigan either.
No.
Okay, so my cousins just moved to Florida from Washington State, and they just started their portable coffee stand. So they bought this trailer and they turned it into a coffee stand so they could take it to the ball games and they could take it to, all these events. And they're already making a killing because you guys don't have them on the East Coast.
That's a food
Literally,
truck on the East Coast. That's what would be called a food truck. People
Yeah.
sell foods out of those little vans or whatever looking
well,
things.
we have food trucks too, but they do like the coffee ones go just as well as food, and all you're making is coffee. You don't and like energy drinks or boba or all your specialty drinks. But here it's literally like part of people's budgets.
That's
Part of people's budget.
amazing.
Yeah, it's $7 a cup. Yeah, you'd have to budget that in depending on how
Yeah,
often you get
but
it.
we don't eat out like going out to eat is not as frequent here. Like I really don't have a budget for going out to eat because we really just don't go out to eat much. My husband and I will once in a while, or like a special occasion we will, but really like that's not something I budget, but I will like I don't know, $20 a week or something. My daughter and I will go down and get a coffee or you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's my that's my it's my go-to. I like coffee.
Look at
Dude,
restaurants,
so
the
here,
highest margin is in drinks, right?
The what?
The highest margin is in beverages when you're in that kind of retail.
Hmm.
So when you're selling boba, and we did a cost because we started making it at home, it's like you could sell boba for pennies, like 25 cents, 50 cents. They're marking it up to 6.50. I mean, it's even cheaper than coffee,
Yeah.
right? And the thing is, it's the options, it's all the toppings, all the changes,
Mhm.
all the add-ons.
That's your upsell.
Upsell. I paid $8 for a boba, and I'm like, what?
Easy. Yeah, we
Yeah.
in Michigan they're well, we have a high Asian population in Ann Arbor because of the University of Michigan.
Mm,
So we're super multicultural in Ann Arbor in and
mm,
of itself. But my sons are also part Asian, and
mm.
I mean, we live at Mogi tea. I mean, like I was resistant at first. Now I love them, like
Oh,
grapefruit, and I love all the bobas.
yeah,
Like I'm addicted, but they're so expensive. Like if I buy two, I'm like almost pushing $18.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. That's how our coffee
That's
is.
how high the margin is. So
Yes.
Yes.
if you have a retail brick and mortar space
Yeah.
and you need to sell one thing
Hmm.
to get people in, it's got to be something like that. And coffee is no longer in or cheap or accessible to a lot of children or
Right.
teenagers.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you could
Yeah.
do both, you kind of kill two birds.
Hmm.
Yeah. In the new, like our generation is more Starbucks or coffee, but the younger generation, their
Is
Starbucks
boba.
is boba. Yeah.
Well, and it used to be energy drink. So between there, it was like my son's 20. So his was energy drinks. Even my daughter kind of got into energy drinks for a while, but she's more boba now. She's 15 or well, actually she'll be 16 next week, I think. Or no, week after next.
Wow.
Um, but yeah. And I think they're realizing how bad energy drinks are for you. So
Very. Yes. Mhm.
Well, awesome. This was great, guys. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Got some great ideas, and this is a good start, and you guys can continue to build that out. Some homework for you, because I know we're getting up here late into the hour. So let me finish and share the next tab in this worksheet. So the next tab of this worksheet is the income streams. So everything that you put here in the income summary stream table, basically your top 10 income streams, the ones that you're going to focus on for the next 18 months and are going to move into your growth roadmap, is going to populate here for you automatically. So you won't be able to change these unless you unprotect your sheet, but they're going to populate here automatically. And what you're going to do with this summary table is you're going to start filling out what you're projecting as far as 3-year growth. And this is your idea, right? This is your ideal. What would you like, or what do you think is realistic that you could do with this income stream over the next 3 years? Most likely it's going to start small, but as you build it out, as you market it, as you advertise it, it will grow, right? And so, and if you are working a 9 to 5 job and this is something you want to transition out of, you're going to be planning that as well. So you'll put, your forecasted earnings for 2025. Maybe you'll still be working in that job in 2026, but hopefully by year 2027 and beyond, maybe you'll be able to transition out of that and replace that income with other things, if that makes sense. So down here we have some income stream calculators. And this is just for you guys to play around with and help you estimate what totals to put in this table up here above. And I've started with an example of our platform because it's easy math to do, right? Because our platform membership is $49 a month. And let's look at just calculating year 2025, this year. We're going to say the average members that we had active in any month is 25. And since we just started this in May, I'm only going to count 7 months out of the year of 2025 for actual revenue earnings for 2025. And then I would put that number, that total, up here under the 2025 revenue forecast. And I'll do the same going into next year. So for next year, Heather and I, the membership portion will stay the same, but we're hoping to increase our members from 25, let's say, by next year, by the end of next year anyway, we'd like to have 100 people, or maybe increase it. At some point, the average for the 12 months, we want to increase that to around 100 members that we would have part of our platform. And then we take that total, 58,800, and we would put it here to give you an idea, basically how you would fill this out. But I know one of the rooms we were talking about, what if you guys were to create a digital product? This product could be anything. Maybe this is like a crypto guide, how to do XYZ, right? And it's a simple download. Maybe you made it for $1, right? You're only selling it for $1. It's a quick download. Sell it on Etsy, whatever it be. Sell that thing. Maybe you sold it. What's a good multiplier? Let's say 100 per month. Yeah, let's say there were 100 a month, right? For 12 months, that'd be 1,200 for the year that you made. And you did the work once, right? How long would it take you to put together that one guide? It's not bad, right? But what if you increased that? Maybe you got up to where you're selling that guide and it's selling like 250 a month. What if you, instead of $1, you chose to sell it for $2? What if you had 10 of these little how-to guides or 15 of those little digital how-to guides? Those start adding up quick when it comes to income, right? And then it just comes down to marketing it and getting it out there. There are a lot of print on demand companies where you could create a cute little logo or something, or a slogan or a shirt. Um, create some type of product. A funny mug. Do you know how many mugs people buy for the holidays? Create something hilarious, themed for Christmas or, any of the different holidays and sell it. And it's a print on demand, meaning once they buy it, that order goes directly to the print on demand company that's going to make that mug and then ship it directly to the client. Literally eliminates you from the equation altogether. All you did was design the mug and market the mug on your Etsy store or whatever, wherever you decide to market it. Do that a couple of times. You got some income and you're doing the work one time. So there are ideas out there, guys. Get creative with it. Ask ChatGPT how to help you. Um, but I see fun little stuff like that all the time on Facebook. Where they've got little mugs about a chicken that says "Faka." Looks hilarious, but people buy it, guys. It's silly, but people buy it. You could sell pens. You could sell shirts with like funny little logos on them. Like put together a really funny, hilarious meme, slap it on a shirt, slap it on a hat, whatever. Um, People buy stuff. You know what I mean? You don't even have to make the stuff. All you got to do is design it and do a print on demand.
Yeah. And so a lot of the times with the print on demand, they do drop shipping, and so you don't even have to ship it. Your margins are lower, but your labor is a lot less. So,
Yeah. So, so consider this is just to give you some ideas to play around with pricing on how to price your product and like give you some goals. It was like, okay, well, if I want to make some decent money at this, that means I got to sell at least 10 or 15 or 100 of these a month. How am I going to do that? Okay, might have to market it a little bit. Might need to talk to Dasha about doing some shorts or some videos. You know what I mean? So, market my video, market my product. You could do
Hey, we can
affiliate
talk.
programs too, like you could do affiliate links where other people are selling your stuff for you and they get a little percentage and you're not doing any work at that point. So, being a creator, guys, pays.
yeah.
Yeah, but there are no short of nor no, there are no shortage of ideas, and if you do run out of ideas, you have an almighty creator who never runs out of ideas. He can give you ideas.
So
Ask him for ideas.
my mom my mom's retired, but she's always doing random things. And she makes tallow lotions and lip balms and sells them. And she goes to like the bazaars and she loves it. She thinks it's super fun. She goes to the churches and they have bazaars and everybody has their craft tables and she has her little tallow stand. And then she makes beeswax candles. Um, and she sells them for a little bit more because they're not, you know, harmful because it's beeswax. Um, yeah, she has little things like that and she thinks it's fun. And then she gets furniture and redoes furniture and sells that here and there. But I don't know, just to give little side hustle ideas.
Yeah. But I encourage you guys to have fun with this and maybe it'll help you to brainstorm ideas and um, yeah, and for you to kind of see what value you can come out of simple little things. So,
Yes.
any questions?
Nope.
All right. Well, good stuff. So I think this is where we're going to end it then for the night. This was a good start. Your homework then for this week is just going to be continuing to work out the wealth flow framework and brainstorming your income streams, getting those organized, and then pulling together your list of your top 10 And it's okay if you don't have the full 10. Try to get 5. Try to if you're struggling with getting one idea, try to build 5. I assure you you can do it. And if you need help, we got our one-on-ones with you guys. We will help you brainstorm ideas to come up with 5. So,
Hmm.
This was awesome. Thank you, ladies. I learned stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, good. And Tanya, she has ideas. You guys work together. You
Hey,
have
I do want to
Telegram
say,
or the platform. Yes, Dasha?
Mimi
Hmm?
is already running with what I told was saying about last week, how I was like, I feel like this is from the Lord. You need to run with it. She's already running with it. I'm proud of her.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna keep you posted. It's it's a star right now.
That's awesome. Love stars. Those are fun.
Oh,
All right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much for being on. Thanks for your feedback and participation and all of your sharing. And God bless you guys. And we'll see you on our one-on-ones, and we'll see you next week. So,
Bye, guys.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.